What's new, crew, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to give you guys a very quick garden tour, the first garden tour of the season for garden season 2022. It's already been a bit of an adventure this year with the garden. We've had a lot of setbacks already because of weather. We had a huge flood that came through and wiped out a ton of the garden literally the day that I planted it. It was kind of like a flash flood. No one really knew that the storm was going to turn into what it did, so a lot of people's gardens and a lot of farmers lost out on a lot, but that's okay. It's still early in the season and we were able to recoup. But because of that, things are really disorganized. After the storm, I went back down. I went to a local Amish store and bought some starts because a lot of the starts that I had started earlier in the season, I did that in a video, I'll link it down below, completely died. So I needed new plants and I didn't have any left. So I went and bought some. And I was basically just filling in the spots where the storm had wiped some things out. So it might not look the most organized or be the most pretty, but it will still work. Things will still grow. I'm just gonna walk you guys through it, show you guys what I planted, what I started from starts, what I did from seeds. And I also have some footage that I filmed a couple days ago where I was actually planting some stuff. I'll insert that footage. I talk about our new chicken coop that just went in and some berry bushes that we planted on the other end of the property for the start of like a forest garden that we're going to be doing with berry bushes and basically fruit trees and stuff, which I'm really excited about, but that is slow going. So right in this corner here, I planted some chamomile, just trying to get some flowers in the garden, and I can also use that to make soaps and like different loofahs and stuff because I planted loofahs in the garden that I'll show you guys. And then here is basically where a ton of tomatoes start. This is something that I had to go back and buy because you're gonna see a lot of like really sad tomatoes. I weren't really sure if they were gonna live or not, and it looks like they're not, which is okay. I'm happy that I went and bought some because obviously you can tell these ones look way better. But we've got some cherry tomatoes up here, and they go all along here. I counted, I think I have like somewhere between 25 and 30 tomato plants. Lots of different varieties and stuff. We also expanded the garden this year, so all of this half of the garden all the way down is all new. But down over here we have Better Boys and basically like really big canning tomatoes. We also planted some pineapple tomatoes, which is new. I got those from GARDNER if you want to get those seeds, and I'll let you know how those turn out, but we're really excited about those. The storm also basically took all of my pepper plants. The peppers were deceiving because it looked like they were fine, and then over a couple days after the storm they were not fine. I think now I only have 5 or 6 pepper plants, and I'm pretty sure 3 of them are jalapenos, which is fine. I wanted to make some hot sauce and some cowboy candy and stuff for just something new to try to can this year. So we've got a couple jalapenos here. This is one of the only bell pepper plants that I think actually survived. I think I have 3 bell pepper plants and that's it, which is not ideal. But to be honest, bell peppers have never grown well in my garden. They just don't do well here over the last couple years, but they do awesome at my mother-in-law's. And I'm going to talk about later in the video how we're going to be trading for things that don't grow well by her, but grow really well for me. So we're just gonna do some trading and everyone will get what they need, hopefully. I have random tomato plants pretty much everywhere because, like I said, I was just filling in empty holes with plants or with seed just to kind of get everything in. So all right here is actually one big line of green beans. I put green beans in a couple different places in my garden this year. Once they start to sprout up, I will get some posts on either end and run some chicken wires so they have something to grow up on. But green beans are here. Like, you can see the storm knocked out some seeds. We got, I think 9 inches is what they decided that we got in that rainstorm. So my whole garden was underwater for about 2 days while everything kind of went back down. Then here are more tomatoes. We start heading into the addition of the garden and we got some celery here. I got 8 stalks. I usually have to can celery about every other year. We don't use celery a lot. We basically only use it in soups and stews and in certain crock pot meals. and we don't like a lot of it at a time. So this, hopefully if everything goes well, all 8 stalks will be about 2 years worth of cauliflower, or of celery for us, which is really exciting. I actually usually can them in half pints or pints, and then I can them with carrots, so that way when I'm doing a stew or a soup, I just have to open one jar and dump it in, and it works really well for us that way. So my chickens also escaped their chicken run, and they got into the garden and ate off some things. We have some plants that don't look too good because of that, but this was a tomato plant. You can see here they also got onto this pepper plant, but this is my best looking pepper plant that I have left. So hopefully this one does okay. It can bounce back. I think it's big enough where it could take a hit like that and still produce for me, which is nice. Right here we have another very sad pepper plant, but it's still there. So we're gonna see how that goes. Here, all along here, I did a row of just regular carrots, and later in the garden I planted a thing of rainbow carrots. They came in a 6-foot long piece of tape that had seeds all along it, so I didn't have to plant seeds. I also won't have to thin them this year, so I'm excited about that. Carrots usually do typically pretty decent for us, so I'm excited to see how that goes this year. One more pepper plant, and then actually all through here is pretty barren. I have one little pepper plant down there, and this is just a big open space where I have a lot of room. But this is an area where I had some plants that looked like they might come back and they might not, and they didn't. So all right here is just an open space. So I might put zucchini here because that's the one thing I didn't get in the garden that I really wanted to. So it's still open now that I know that everything's dead through here. Right in here, I put about a 3 or 4 foot thing of snap peas. I wanted to put more in, but at the time I didn't have the room. So now that I know this area is empty, I might put some more snap peas through here. Through here is another big long strip, probably about 6 feet of green beans. My plan is to get a lot of green beans in the freezer and then to can some dilly beans. We love dilly beans, and we've been completely out for months. So my plan is to get some dilly beans on the shelf this year. That's a goal of mine. Right here is another small, probably 3-foot section of more green beans. Can you tell I really want to have a lot of green beans this year? We've got some cauliflower in here. I counted, I think I planted close to 30 heads of cauliflower. Cauliflower is one of those things where once you cut the head off, it won't produce any more product for you. The plant's done. So once you cut the head off, you can basically pull the whole plant out and plant something else in its place. So that's why I planted so many cauliflower. And then on top of that, cauliflower is one of those things I'm going to be trading with my mother-in-law. For whatever reason, they don't do well down there for her. Last year is the first year I did cauliflower. They did great for me. I got huge, beautiful heads. So some of this cauliflower is for my family, and some of this cauliflower is for trading back and forth between me and her. The original plan was I was going to trade cauliflower for broccoli because she bought way too much broccoli. I think I helped her plant her garden, and I think we put in about 40 heads of broccoli. Broccoli is not like cauliflower. Once you cut the head off, you get these things called side shoots. Broccoli will produce more small heads of broccoli. So it will continue to produce until you rip up the broccoli plant itself. So I only need about half the broccoli plants as I do cauliflower. So you can imagine 40 broccoli plants, you're gonna get so much broccoli. So she told me do not plant any broccoli, but then the storm hit and her garden was underwater for a couple of days and her area got hit a lot harder than mine. So I went down to the Amish and I bought myself some broccoli. You're gonna see that in a second, just as a little bit of insurance policy because I didn't know how hers was going to turn out. But lots and lots of cauliflower right here. So all in this row, and then right there I have 9 plants of cauliflower. Right here I think are actually a couple more snap peas that I ended up putting in, just a small section, another 3-foot section. And then all right here, this big 6-foot rope is rainbow carrots, which I'm really excited about. The kids are super excited about them. They helped me put some of these seeds in. My kids that helped me are 4 and 2. My 6-year-old was at school, but they're so excited about them. I can just imagine them coming outside to play and pulling up a carrot and trying to figure out what color carrot they're gonna get, like if it's gonna be purple, orange, white, yellow. I think it's gonna be really fun. So lots of carrots we planted. We also canned carrots. If my carrots don't produce the way I need them to, I have a local farmer that usually allows me to buy carrots. Last year I got carrots from her. She gave me 20 pounds for $8 because I come back every year and I'm always buying things from her. So here we have 7 heads of lettuce. I tried to do lettuce last year and my chickens got in my garden, ate it all. That's a common theme. My chickens typically free range, but this time of year, because our house is surrounded by farm fields and they are putting out treated corn, if my chickens eat the treated corn, it could kill them. So this is the only time of year I tend to keep them in a chicken run, and they get really mad at me. They try to escape all the time. It doesn't matter how like escape proof we make it, they always tend to get out. And that's what happened. They got out, and instead of eating the treated corn, they came in and ate off some of the plants in here, which I've talked about. But the lettuce looks really good. This is something that I planted before the storm, so I was worried about it, but it lasted the storm. They actually look really great. I think I only lost 1 head because I had 8 of them. So overall, I'm pretty happy. I really wanted to put some lettuce down here for basically BLTs, chicken wraps, salads, all of those things. We go through a lot of lettuce in the summer. And it would be really nice to be able to just come down to the garden and pick off some lettuce and make a BLT, because especially we have tomatoes in here and tons of sandwiches that we do, like cold cut sandwiches in the summer, because we have so many garden veggies. We can make delicious subs. So lettuce is something I wanted to do. I've never grown it successfully, so we'll see what happens. All the rest of this part of the garden is all more cauliflower. So we have another 15 heads of cauliflower that are going to be growing here, which is definitely a lot, but I'm excited about this. We'll see how this goes. And right here at the edge of the garden, I put about a, I don't know, 2 to 3 foot section of radishes. My son loves radishes. I like radishes, but not the way he does. So I've never grown radishes before either, so we're gonna see how that goes here. And then right here in the corner of the garden, I put in some lavender for the same reason, just to bring in the bees, and also in hopes to be making my own soaps and stuff. So now this is part of the addition of the garden that we just put in this year. We've got 8 heads of broccoli, like I said, just as an insurance policy for myself, in case my mother-in-laws don't go well. I'm pretty sure 8 broccoli heads is what I had last year, and I wish I had more. In hindsight, I wish I would have gotten another 4 plants to put in, but honestly, I just didn't have the room either. So this is just what I could fit, and I'm just gonna hope that these broccoli plants do really well like they did last year, and they just produce for me like crazy, and I can get a ton of broccoli in the freezer for my family. And also last year I gave away some broccoli, so this year I think I'm just gonna be selfish and keep all my broccoli and not give it to family and friends and neighbors and whatnot, and hopefully that'll be enough to get me through an entire year worth of broccoli. So the rest of the garden at this point is all vines. So all in this section I actually planted seeds. I put in some small pumpkins. I'll put a picture up on the screen of actually what I planted in here. I've got some gourds, little baby pumpkins for like my kids, nieces and nephews, and just decorating. Pumpkins just make me really happy. I'm just like a typical girl. I love fall. So this is really just a section for me to feel really happy and be really excited about it. Up in here I have some cucumbers, just eating cucumbers for my kids. I'm pretty sure I got 1 pack of 4. My kids are the only ones that eat the cucumbers, and I'm hoping that 4 plants will be enough to sustain what they want to eat fresh throughout the summer and whatnot. I'm sure it will be, but who knows, I could be very wrong. But 4 plants of just eating cucumbers for the kids. The burpless variety, I honestly don't know. I've never grown like eating cucumbers before. I just recently found out that my kids like them, so we're gonna see how that handles this year. Then we move into a section. I'm pretty sure I have 12 watermelon plants in this section, just kind of plopped in here. I have sangrias and crimson sweets, I'm pretty sure is what I ended up putting in here. I've also never successfully grown a watermelon. I've tried every year. I've put them in different parts of the garden every year. We're gonna see how this goes, and hopefully they do really, really well. I've done a lot of research over the winter on how to grow watermelon. So hopefully this is the year where it happens for me. Through this section, I have just some pumpkins. These are Howdens. I did go ahead and get these from my local Amish shop, but they look fantastic already. Some of them have grown significantly since they've been in the ground. It's been about a week. They look great. They survived the storm. I'm really excited about these. These are basically just carving pumpkins to harvest seeds from and to make me and my kids really, really happy. So we've got lots of pumpkins. Then the last thing I planted in this big open section is all seeds. This is going to be my pickle patch. So basically these are just pickling cucumbers. I know we need about 60 to 70 quarts of pickles to get us through a year. So that's what I'm hoping to get through here. I wish I would have had a little bit of a bigger section to do this in, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to get enough pickles out of here. We'll see what happens. I'm probably just going to have to do a lot of small batches of pickles to get us there, which is okay. This year I'm really hoping to do a variety of pickles, like slices and spears, and I would also love to get maybe just one batch of relish done. I'm getting ready to plant these bad boys, the Atlantic Giant Pumpkin. We've been doing a lot of improvements outside recently, which I have not talked about one bit, but this used to be a pile of wood. We had a bunch of scrap wood here. Well, not even scrap wood, just like old 2x4s and 4x6s and stuff that we used to build. And we moved them because we expanded our chicken coop. This is actually an old box trailer that we got for free. We put a door on it, put a window on it, and now it's our chicken coop because we got 13 baby chicks from a guy who actually had them in his apartment, and his landlord was like, you know, you can't have those in here, right? So we took them, plus the chickens that we already have, so that's our new chicken coop. But I have this space here now, and I completely ran out of room in my garden for these because they take up 8 feet of space. And I thought, I have this little space right here that's practically already tilled, it's ready to go. So I just hoed a strip down the middle, and I'm gonna plant some of these. I have to figure out how many seeds I'm gonna plant, probably 1 or 2, like not that many. But it says they get up to 1,500 pounds, which is crazy. I just wanna see how big I can actually grow this thing, so I'm gonna plant this. Oh my goodness! Look at how big these seeds are. That's like the size of my thumb. Just earlier today, I was planting like little itsy bitsy seeds for like gourds and little baby pumpkins for the kids to be able to pick from, and like my nieces and nephews and stuff. So these look massive. I got these from MI Gardner. If you want to see my my seed haul, like my MI Gardner haul and stuff, I can link it down below. Holy schmolies. Each vine will produce 1 very large pumpkin or 4 to 6 medium to large size pumpkins, easily weighing over 40 pounds each. Seeds are plump and delicious when roasted, and although the flesh is rather stringy, it will still be delicious. Okay. I think the sizing really has to do with how much space you give these pumpkins to grow, and also how far apart you actually give the seeds. I guess it's kind of like any plant. I'm assuming these are going to be more like goldfish, you know, they'll grow as big as their enclosure allows. So I decided to do 3 pumpkins, or 3 seeds, and then that way I think I'll get more manageable sized pumpkins, because I honestly don't know what the heck I would do with a 1,000-pound pumpkin. This is just something fun for me to try and do. I love pumpkins, they make me really happy. So even if I could get like a 50 or 60-pound pumpkin, I would be totally amazed by that. I'll just take the seeds and give the pumpkins to the chickens. That's really what these are for, is just like a fun thing for me to grow, and just some fun treats for the chickens and stuff. There's really no other rhyme or reason why I'm growing these. These were like $2 on MI Gardner's website, and they come with 15 seeds, and obviously if I'm only planting a couple at a time, I can have these for years. I think I'm going to give some of these seeds to my brother-in-law. He has kids the same age as mine. I think they would get a kick out of growing like a really big pumpkin. Like, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. It also lets me know that you guys want to see more videos like this. I'm really hoping to bring you guys outside and in the garden a lot more this summer, showing you guys a lot more of my actual garden and canning and getting everything preserved, and just entering more into a self-sustainable lifestyle. I don't want to call us homesteaders because I've seen real homesteaders, and trust me, I'm not there yet. But just learning how to be more self-sufficient on like the 3 acres that we have, and just making the most of it, getting the garden in, putting in those berry bushes, hopefully putting in some fruit trees. I'd really like to do that this year, but we'll see what happens. We've been to a couple different stores, a couple different places, and they just don't have exactly what we're looking for. We're really hoping to put in some apple trees and maybe a pear tree. My husband's also looking into cherry trees, but there's a lot that goes into all that stuff, so we want to make sure that we're prepared. We have the research and we know what we're doing before we put them in. That's why at this point the only thing we have in are 4 raspberry bushes and 3 blueberry bushes. and hopefully some blackberry bushes will go in soon. I'm still looking for those. I think I need to go to Tractor Supply and figure out if they have some, because if they do, I'm definitely buying a couple. We'll get those in. But yeah, just a lot going on this summer. And of course, I will see you guys in another video. Bye. 'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die